Welcome to Why It Sucks, where we stitch our way through life's most cringeworthy moments with surgical precision. Today's social torture chamber, icebreaker questions. Those conversation starters that make you wish you could literally break the ice and fall through it. To escape, I am stitching this circle of doom with extra uncomfortable energy, because that's exactly what happens when someone announces, "Let's go around the room and share something interesting about ourselves." My thread choice? Anxiety gray with hints of existential dread. Let's start with a classic torture device. 2. Truth and a lie. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. This is where you realize your life is so monumentally boring that you have to fabricate interesting experiences just to participate. You're sitting there, watching Karen from accounting casually mention she once had dinner with a celebrity, while you're frantically trying to remember if that time you found a $20 bill counts as an adventure. Your brain starts spiraling. I once ate pizza for breakfast. Is that interesting or just sad? I can touch my nose with my tongue. To weird. I once met a famous person, but it was a brief encounter with a local weatherman at a grocery store. I'm stitching this panic with extra frayed edges because that's what your composure looks like. Meanwhile, Brad from marketing drops bombshells like I survived a shark attack in Australia. And you're like, well, I once got a paper cut that was really deep. So, the worst part, when it's finally your turn, you deliver your carefully crafted lies with the confidence of someone ordering at a restaurant they can't afford. And everyone immediately guesses correctly because apparently you're as transparent as plastic wrap. Then there's the dreaded if you could have any superpower. What would it be? This question seems fun until you realize everyone else has clearly thought about this extensively while you're having an existential crisis about whether wanting to be invisible says something concerning about your mental state. Jessica goes first. I'd want the power to heal people because I believe in making the world better. Of course she does. She probably volunteers at animal shelters and makes her own kombucha. Then it's your turn. And your honest answer is I'd want the power to always know when someone's lying, so I can avoid awkward conversations like this one. But you can't say that, so you panic and blurt out something like flying, I guess, with all the enthusiasm of someone reading terms and conditions. I'm adding these pitiful wings because that's exactly how your superpower sounds, next to everyone else's world-changing abilities. Then someone inevitably asks, but why flying? And you realize you have to explain a choice you made in 3 seconds of panic. Traffic, you stammer, while dying inside. But the absolute worst is share a fun fact about yourself. Fun fact. This question makes everyone instantly forget every interesting thing that's ever happened to them. Your mind becomes a blank canvas of boring. You watch in horror as people share genuinely fascinating tidbits. I speak 5 languages. I once lived in a treehouse for a month. I'm related to someone who invented something important. Meanwhile, your brain is serving up classics like I can burp the alphabet, or I once ate an entire sleeve of crackers in one sitting. The pressure builds as your turn approaches. You can feel everyone's eyes on you, waiting for your contribution to the fun fact collection. So you panic and share something that's neither fun nor factual. I'm really good at parallel parking, which is a lie, and everyone knows it because you Uber to this event. Then someone says, oh, that's useful, and you have to nod enthusiastically while knowing full well you once spent 20 minutes trying to park in a spot that wasn't even a parking space. So there you have it. Icebreaker questions. The social equivalent of being asked to perform surgery with a spoon. They're designed to bring people together, but somehow make everyone feel more isolated in their own awkwardness. I've stitched this final support group scene because that's what we all need after surviving these conversational minefields. A safe space to admit that yes, we've all lied about having interesting hobbies, and no, none of us actually want to share fun facts on command. The truth is, icebreaker questions don't break ice, they create it. They turn fluid conversations into frozen moments of social terror, where everyone pretends to be more interesting than they are. If you've ever lied during the truth and a lie, drop your most ridiculous icebreaker fail in the comments. Let's create a support group for icebreaker survivors. Hit that like button if you've ever wished you could literally break ice and disappear. And subscribe to Why It Sucks for more Stitch stories about social torture. Remember, the best icebreaker is admitting that icebreakers suck. See you next time, assuming I survive the next team building event.